through how many different elements you have to go through to find the right hi-hat. It just takes way too much time. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is David Fritz, and in this video I'm going to share with you why it is super essential to produce faster music. And I'm also going to share with you 4 tips how to make your productions faster, how to save heaps of time. So definitely make sure you stick until the end of this video because you're going to learn techniques you can use for the next years. Before I start sharing all the knowledge with you, definitely make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel to not miss out any tech house production tutorials, and also go on the link under the description because my Spotify link is there. Definitely check out my music and support this channel so I can continue making those good videos. I want to give you a quick example. Every time I have, for example, an idea for a YouTube video, I just write down the title and then I know exactly what kind of video I want to produce. With music production, no matter if it's EDM, house music, tech house, progressive house, it's a bit different because you can write down basic idea because music has so many different elements. There's so many different elements like kicks, bass sounds, what kind of sounds you want to use, what kind of melodies, what kind of arrangement you want to have. There's so many different things you have to consider that writing your ideas down faster is super essential because this basic idea you had in the beginning is not fading away. And if you're able to write down the ideas faster, your idea, your energy goes completely to this idea and you're not wasting energy. You basically have the chance to write down things faster. So now you know why it is super important to write down ideas faster. I'm going to share with you my personal template, how I basically managed to save myself heaps of time with mixing and mastering and everything around it. So every single time I'm opening up a new project in FL Studio, this is exactly the screen I'm seeing. So I've already created this template where I basically just put in elements. I have vocal 1, vocal 2, vocal 3. You can see yourself, vocal automation. So every single time I have an automation, I just put it in here. Instead of pressing this, insert an extra one, I basically have everything already assigned. I have bass 1, bass 2, bass automation, a sidechain trigger, kick, drum, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, drum fills, automations, ear candy, then instruments, 1, 2, like 2 automations for each instrument, rise or downfall. So basically like that, I can make sure that I can just write, like straight away arrange the track properly. What you can do as well, obviously, you can, for example, press Option T, and then you can basically add a marker and say, this is for the breakdown. Then from bar 29, you say, press again, Option T, and then you can write down, this is the drop 1. And like that, you can make sure that you have already an arrangement, like with specific names for it. So what you can see as well here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 automations, 5 automations in this arrangement. This is the drum bus, okay? This drum bus is this is the automation for the volume. So let's say I personally produce tech house. So let's say you have a breakdown or a build-up for a track. Usually in the breakdown or in the build-up, the drum bus or the drums in general are more quiet, so the drop hits harder. So what I make sure, this is automation which triggers basically the volume of the drum bus, which is here on my mixer. Where is it? It is here on channel 17. So as you can see, this is the automation, and the more I bring this up, the more this drum bus volume changes, which is gonna save myself heaps of time. I have the same thing here with the reverb master bus. So I have a master bus already assigned here, which has the Valhalla Supermassive. By the way, if you want to get this template, make sure you go on the link under the description. You can get this specific template for yourself, so you can basically save yourself heaps of time. So on every single time, when I increase the automation, the more high I go, the more the mix is wet, like the whole thing. This is also great for if you want to create a massive build-up before the drop comes in. Same with master field separation and so on. Then I have also a high pass, low pass filter. Can use the same thing, like which is just here assigned. There's already high pass, low pass filters, assign different tracks. That's the first tip. Second of all is create master automations already installed in your software. Third tip is on your mixer channel, already put all the plugins you want to use. For example, for the bass channel, we usually use sidechain compression in EDM. You have already an LFO tool already there. You just have to like change a little bit the timing of depending on the kick. You have already compressors loaded up, which is exactly, this is a free compressor by the way. So you have all the plugins already installed here, you have saturations already installed, and also super important is that you have like instrument buses, there's like an auxiliary channel where you have the power and the control to install for example, reverb or a delay, so you can actually control completely, you can process the delay or the reverb complete individually from the channel. If you would put the reverb on the same channel as the main instrument, you wouldn't have the power and the control to actually influence and control your reverb or like saturation or EQ because you're basically EQing the whole element, which is another problem. You want to have as much control over your elements as possible. The fourth tip what I have for you is create favorites folder. I already talked about this in one of my other videos. So you just have here, I have something which is called the Techno Master Pack. This is a folder I created for myself for my favorite samples, the samples I use most of the time. This is FL Studios packs. If you go, let's say on instruments, let's say you go on drums and you go on hi-hats. Through how many different elements you have to go through to find the right hi-hat, it just takes way too much time. Instead, I have this Techno Master Pack. I have my favorite hi-hats, and this is everything I have. This is all the hi-hats I have. And this is perfect for tech house or house music. I have favorite claps, which is a very small amount. That's all the claps I'm using. And yeah, what you basically have to do, let's just open it in my system. I created this own folder, and I put just all the samples in. And each single time I download samples from Splice, for example, I take the ones I like the most and I put them individually into this folder. So I'm not buying thousands of sample packs and have thousands of samples. No, this is not how it works. I know exactly if I need something, I know where it is, and like that I can make sure that I'm not spending or wasting any time on finding the right samples, because you're spending so much time finding the right samples. If you have this favorites folder, it's gonna save you heaps of time. And I have a little bonus tip for you, because I really like to share my knowledge with you. One of the mixing tips is that usually to have a clear mix, you're cutting away all the lows from like under 100 Hertz for sure, from all the elements where you know that you don't need it. Let's say for example hi-hats. Hi-hats you don't need low end, because the low end should be more for the bass and the kick, especially in EDM. So what I have already installed is not just an EQ, I have already a low pass, high pass filter installed, so I can cut away frequency straight away. As you can see, the hi-hat has here frequencies at around 50 Hertz. We don't need that for EDM, we don't need that at all. So I have this high pass, low pass filter already installed, something around 140. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Make sure you subscribe to my channel to not miss on any tech or production tutorials, and get this template for a very small amount of money, and you're gonna save yourself heaps of time.
Please, right here, right now.